Kwame, a hopeful and determined African immigrant, steps off a train into a bustling metropolitan city. His wide smile reflects his excitement for a new beginning. He carries a small bag and holds a worn-out journal where he records his dreams of building a better life. As he walks through the crowded streets, Kwame notices curious stares and whispers. Some smiles seem genuine, but others are laced with suspicion. A shopkeeper hesitates to sell him a loaf of bread, and a pedestrian mutters, "Go back to where you came from." Kwame chooses to smile and walk away, but a shadow of doubt crosses his face. Kwame's journey to find a job is riddled with challenges. In one office, the receptionist gives him a dismissive glance before saying the position is already filled. At another, the interviewer avoids eye contact, asking invasive questions about Kwame's background. A montage shows Kwame applying to several places, only to face rejection after rejection. Despite these setbacks, Kwame remains optimistic. In the evenings, he works on sketches in his journal, dreams of starting a small art studio to share African culture through vibrant illustrations. One rainy afternoon, Kwame boards a crowded bus. As he takes a seat near the front, an elderly man glares at him and loudly exclaims, "Why don't you sit somewhere else?" Kwame, taken aback, politely offers to move, but the man continues to insult him, calling him slurs and blaming immigrants for the city's problems. The atmosphere becomes tense. Some passengers look away, uncomfortable but unwilling to intervene. A few laugh quietly, while others pull out their phones to record the incident. Kwame's hands tremble as he stands up, but he gathers his courage. In a calm voice, he says, "Sir, I understand your frustration, but I am here to build, not destroy. I am not your enemy." The man scoffs, and Kwame steps off the bus at the next stop, his heart heavy. That evening, Kwame pours his emotions into his journal, sketching an image of himself on the bus, surrounded by a swirl of hateful words. Underneath, he writes, "Hatred cannot drive out hatred. Only love can do that." Inspired, Kwame begins to share his art in small ways. He paints murals in local neighborhoods, each depicting themes of unity, hope, and the beauty of cultural diversity. One mural, showing children of different races holding hands around the globe, catches the attention of a young woman named Maria. Maria, a local teacher, approaches Kwame and asks about his work. Touched by his story, she invites him to speak at her school. At the school, Kwame shares his journey with the students, using his art to illustrate the beauty of Africa and the strength it takes to overcome prejudice. His authenticity moves both students and teachers, sparking a discussion about racism. Maria decides to help Kwame organize a community event showcasing his art and storytelling. Word spreads, and more people begin to notice Kwame's efforts. Some of the same passengers from the bus incident recognize him and feel ashamed of their inaction. The elderly man from the bus incident happens to walk by one of Kwame's murals one day. The mural depicts a young African boy offering a flower to someone sitting in the shadows. Moved by the image, the man reflects on his own prejudices and decides to attend Kwame's community event. At the event, Kwame shares the bus incident, not naming the man, but describing the pain it caused. He then speaks about forgiveness, saying, "We are all capable of change, no matter how old or set in our ways we are."
The elderly man approaches Kwame after the speech and apologizes, his voice trembling. Kwame smiles warmly and shakes his hand, saying, "Thank you for taking the first step." The story concludes with a montage of Kwame's impact on the city. His murals now brighten many neighborhoods, and his art studio becomes a hub for cultural exchange. People of all backgrounds come together, sharing stories, food, and traditions. Kwame's journal, once filled with dreams, is now brimming with stories of triumph. The final scene shows him sketching a new mural, surrounded by children painting alongside him. Above the mural in bold letters are the words, "Unity in diversity." As the camera pans out, the vibrant city is transformed, no longer divided by fear but united by understanding and empathy. Racism thrives in silence and ignorance. But through courage, resilience, and love, we can create a world where everyone belongs.